Germany, 1941. In just a few weeks, Hitler has defeated France. His occupation now spans half of Europe. He is at the peak of his glory. A woman from Berlin, Miss Dagmar Dassel, sends a letter to Adolf Hitler. She writes, "Mein Führer, the noblest, most brilliant of all men, prayed for and divinely sent, the savior of peace, the first soldier, the most brilliant of generals, the greatest strategist of all times, the most outstanding statesman. Hitler has the German people on his side, but the German people do not yet know that he will unleash the apocalypse." From one speech to the next, Hitler has openly expressed his hatred of the Slavs and his desire to destroy the Soviet Union, as Communist Russia was known at the time. Hitler wants to conquer the East to give the Germans what he refers to as Lebensraum, living space. For this living space, he looks towards the vast Soviet territory. It is a nation of 200 million human beings, presented in communist propaganda as happy in their kolkhozes or collective farms, when in fact, they are terrorized by a bloodthirsty dictator, Stalin. Neither Voroshilov at the People's Commissary for Defense, nor Stalin, nor Molotov in Foreign Affairs considers himself ready to confront Hitler. To stall for time, in August 1939, the communist leaders had signed a non-aggression treaty with Hitler, who wanted to avoid a second front in the East. But Stalin believes Hitler will attack him one day. He says, "Hitler thinks he's outsmarted me, but actually, it's I who will trick him." Stalin does not want an enemy in the East, in Siberia. He wants a non-aggression pact with Japan, Hitler's ally in what is known as the Berlin-Rome-Tokyo axis. In Moscow, April 13, 1941, the Japanese Minister of Foreign Affairs, Yosuke Matsuoka, comes to sign this pact with the Soviet Union. Tokyo doesn't want to be at war with the Russians. Japan is preparing her attack against the Americans. Matsuoka has orders to be friendly to Stalin. In an extraordinary show of familiarity, they stand arm in arm. When Matsuoka leaves, Stalin literally puts on a show for Hitler on the platform of the train station. On April 20th, 1941, the Führer celebrates his 52nd birthday. Bormann, Speer and Schoeb, and Goering display opportunistic optimism. Some doubt Germany's ability to defeat Russia, but Hitler tells them, "I'll hear no more about it." The most reluctant voices are military men, like Marshal von Brauchitsch, Commander-in-Chief of the Army, or Admiral Raeder, head of the Naval Command. Many recall Napoleon, who lost his empire in the Russian snow. Hitler will need all his soldiers, even those in France who are relishing in their victory. In the spring of 1941, Hitler assembles his great army. 3 million German soldiers and 700,000 men from countries allied with the Reich, including Romania and Hungary, Slovakia and Croatia. 200,000 Finns will resume their fight against Russia, 60,000 Italians, and even 45,000 Spaniards, a disappointing number for Hitler, who had tried to convince Franco to get more involved in the war. At least Mussolini remains an ally, who has just suffered serious defeats in Albania and Greece. Hitler had to come to his rescue, wasting time, men, and equipment. To save Mussolini, Hitler occupies Greece, then Yugoslavia, but in doing so, he also secures the oil he so badly needs, produced by his ally, Romania. For Hitler, England is no longer a threat. The country is weakened and starved by the submarine war, and he can no longer continue to ally himself with his worst enemy, Stalin. He schedules the offensive against the Soviet Union for June 22nd and gives it a code name, Operation Barbarossa, after a great German emperor. Hitler declares, "When Barbarossa commences, the world will hold its breath."